So at one point in my life, I was really looking for like ways to kind of heal myself. And
Yeah.
then I was already doing yoga, and that's when I discovered breath work and moving with breath in yoga.
Mm.
And from there, I felt like I was, you know, one day at a time, I was being at home with my body. And I think from here, people have more appreciation of what yoga is.
Vanakkam, Namaste, and hello everyone. Welcome to the 45th episode of Inside the Minds of Great Yogis. In today's episode, we have a very special guest, April. As a child, April has always loved movement and dance, but discovering yoga 7 years ago has changed her life completely. Her daily practice has helped with coping with different stresses in life as well. For her, yoga is a moving meditation. It is a balance between releasing, strength, flexibility, and breath. April's goal as a yoga teacher is for students to leave class feeling more relaxed, at peace, and at home with themselves. So let's give a big round of applause to April.
Hi, Swati. Great to be here.
Hi, April. It's a pleasure to have you, and welcome onto the show. How are you doing today?
Very good. It's been a long day, but super happy to be having this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on as well. So, without further ado, we'll begin. And the first question I have for you is, how did your journey of yoga begin?
All right. I think for like most people, I started it as like a physical exercise thing. So
Okay.
I tried a few classes, I did a few at home. And when I was doing that, it was kind of on and off. It's not, it's just one of those exercise I did, nothing regular. But things really changed for me when I started paying attention to my breath.
Mhm.
And from there on, it became I did a lot of more research. It became more than just a physical practice. I tried to practice it um, with other parts of my life. I learned more of the yoga philosophy, and it just started from there.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing how you started with yoga. And the next question I have for you is, what are some yoga postures that beginners can do or like start with?
Um, what I always teach first is the child's pose. I think it's like the most simple pose any beginner or any level could appreciate
Yeah.
because it's just simple pose. You're lying on your back and on your tummy, I mean, and then the stretch you feel here is just really incredible. It has a lot of benefits. It really calms you down, and if you are doing it with breath, you get the full benefits of the pose. And I think from here, people have more appreciation of what yoga is, even if like in a simple um, pose like that. Um, Doing it just does a lot of changes in your body and in your mind.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And child pose is super relaxing. Like for many beginners, the question is, should I start with like an advanced pose or do I need to be flexible in order to do yoga, right? So child pose is a great asana to get started with. So thank you for sharing that. And the next question I have for you is, what did you find most rewarding about practicing yoga?
Um, hmm. There's so many like things that I find rewarding about yoga, but I think the most rewarding is like the capacity of the practice to heal you. So like I think like a lot of other yoga practitioners,
Mhm.
we all came from some sort of like mental distress, like sometimes depression or PTSD. Personally, it was PTSD for me. So at one point in my life, I was really looking for like ways to kind of heal myself. And
Yeah.
then I was already doing yoga, and that's when I discovered breath work and moving with breath in yoga.
Mhm.
And from there, I felt like I was, one day at a time, I was being at home with my body. And through all these other yoga philosophies, I could say that I was able to kind of heal myself. be more comfortable with my nervous system to actually kind of deal or at least have like the capacity or have that confidence to deal with whatever I was facing in my head.
Well said. And healing is a very important aspect of yoga, right? Like through yoga, like
Mhm.
from past traumas or like stresses or anxiety, like a
Right.
lot of people have healed, right? So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing your insight there. And the next question I have for you is, how has social media played a role throughout your yoga quest or your yoga practices overall?
I think the role of social media for me is I never really planned to do social media as as part of my yoga practice. It just kind of happened during the pandemic. But
Okay.
what I yeah, but what I really discovered is there's like a big community out there who are like-minded, could have the same background as you are, or could be looking for the same things as you are. And just to be able to be in this community, it's a very rewarding experience. It's such a eye-opening thing to be able to connect with people all around the world, like you, all the way in Canada, who are, as who are passionate with the same things as you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you said like community and like to unite with everyone. Like I think yoga plays a big role in that, especially with social media. You can connect with a lot of yoga practitioners and teachers around the world, right? And you're joining us from Philippines as well. So it's nice to kind of like speak with you from like different part of the world. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And now I have some rapid fire questions for you. And the first question I'd like to come into is, if you can go on a yoga retreat anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I really only have one place for this because I think like Palawan here in the Philippines is one of like the most majestic places in the world.
Okay.
I think just the setting of it, it's so calming. You're super, the nature is just beautiful. So it's really something I would recommend to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And the next question is, what are some routines that you have implemented in your day-to-day activities after practicing yoga?
So, oh, after practicing yoga?
After practicing yoga, yeah.
So, after practicing yoga for me, I always just kind of relax a bit, not rush into like doing other things, after that last kind of meditation you have, just really relaxing. And then I also eat after yoga, so that's when I really have like my cup of cacao, whatever breakfast I have as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And the final question I have for you is, what have you been able to build or create through teaching yoga?
I think what I was able to build is just kind of like relationships with so many women
Mhm.
and other people of gender who are just looking for the same things as you are, and we're all going through this journey of like healing, finding inner peace, or like being at trying to be at peace with yourself, and just to be able to have these connections with such beautiful souls is one of the most rewarding things that yoga has brought in my life.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I absolutely agree with you to have the ability to connect with many practitioners and teachers around the world and just network with them and like connect through yoga is something that's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And that is the end of our questions. So thank you so much for joining us on the 45th episode, April. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope we're able to do this again. And I'd also like to thank everyone else who has yet to listen to our 45th episode of Inside the Minds of Great Yogis. And until next time, I hope everyone has a great day. And thank you so much, April.
Thank you, Swati.
Thank you.